I'm gonna start this video with some useless trivia cause I fucking feel like it.
Did you know?
Transonic Bird is the ritual counterpart of Sonic Bird. It's defense. It's Sonic Bird's combined attack and defense, and there's even a picture of Sonic Bird on Sonic Tracker. It may be obvious now that I said something, but how many of you knew this before I said something? Some of you might have. That is certainly a possibility, but I refuse to believe that applies to all of y'all. I sure didn't. I looked at the trivia page on Wikipedia first, and I have no shame in saying that shit. Big ups to those motherfuckers that make my job just a little bit easier.
Now that we done got that out the way.
Reveal a ritual spell in your hand. Search a ritual spell that lists it. Dawn of the Herald, Herald of Perfection, Ending Cycle of the World, Ruin Demise, Red Eyes Transmigration, Lord of the Rest, Shino Birds Calling, both Peacocks, Rebirth of Nephthys, Devotee and Cerulean. Cool, but you shuffle the reveal spell in your deck, not so cool. Some of y'all should already know about a blinking text what clip is coming next, right? Send a ritual spell from your deck to the graveyard. Transonic Bird takes its effect, so you're putting the ritual back in your deck with the first effect in order to send it to the graveyard with the second. Interesting. Sonic Tracker can raise Transonic Bird's level, but only if you use more than a level 4 to summon it. You don't have to, but if you want to only tribute Transonic Bird to summon, say, the Peacocks, that's what the fuck you gotta do. But to be fair, you do get to negate an opponent's face-up card for the turn if it's tributed. It ain't the best effect because it's a trigger, so you can't negate a card that just activated.
But I'm not complaining.
Meteonus Drytron, Odd-Eye Zavid, and Necro Cycle let you ritual summon a monster from your graveyard, so sending a ritual from your deck to the graveyard with Sonic Tracker's effect isn't completely useless. However, the type and/or attribute has to match a monster you control, and those aforementioned spells can't be used for Transonic Bird's search effect because they don't list anything. Doesn't that defeat the entire purpose of playing them in the deck with Transonic Bird if you can't use all of its effects? Yes, it does. I don't really care that Sonic Bird hasn't been forgotten. I care that Transonic Bird won't be played, although I think it's pretty good because you can ritual summon during your opponent's turn without playing garbage like Urgent Ritual Art, kind of like some Megaliths, but you do have to play a ritual spell to summon it, not so much like a Megalith. Oh well. Thanks for watching. My Patreon, Cashapp, Venmo, PayPal's in the description. The SOMETHIN Discord server link.
What's the question?
In a recent video, you called Ursula Christie a female, although it's male. Was it on purpose? Kinda, sorta. When I was doing the video, I thought, yeah, some people consider it male, and I can see why some people consider it male, but it is spelled Christia with a K. Kinda, sorta sounds female-like. So even though I'm aware that it's a male, but I don't know for sure, maybe the motherfucker identifies as female. You don't know that shit. But being serious, yeah, I chose to just say, bitch, why not? How cursed is it in your opinion that your video on Lair Darkness got me into playing IRL Yu-Gi-Oh? It's not bad, but I find it a bit strange of all cards that I've done videos on, that motherfucker did it. But again, we're different. Appreciate you sticking around, by the way. Years ago, you explained that you and your father have a very strained relationship. Have you reconciled with him, or are those wounds too deep to maintain a healthy relationship? I no longer have wounds regarding my father, and there has been some reconciliation, at least on my end, but one thing I value is having a relationship based on honesty, and I feel like my father doesn't care about mine or any other person's feelings that oppose his. I reached out to him about 2 months ago because I wanted to at least try and build something with him without having high expectations. A few days after I did that, we spoke on the phone and it was a good conversation, mostly because the majority of it was us agreeing with each other, but when it came to any sort of opposing views, he have a problem with that.
Then what happens?
Father's Day comes around and I didn't say Happy Father's Day to him on purpose because I didn't feel that one conversation warranted that, and I wouldn't have been comfortable with saying it. If we were corresponding on a somewhat regular basis and we built the relationship based on the truth with everything on the table, then yes, I'd have no issue saying it. Now, he may have thought probably that I should say it regardless of my feelings because he's my father and all, which is fine, but I don't feel that way, and I opened the door for us to talk about it, but he said in response verbatim, it's okay, never mind. So to me, that's basically him saying fuck your feelings, you should have said Happy Father's Day regardless because I think you should have did it. That bothered me. So you could say it's still strange, but I refuse to lie to the motherfucker anymore. Hopefully that answers your question. Based on old videos as well as your trademark use of bitch to describe women, one could assume you have a toxic view towards women. But you've also mentioned that you prefer being around them and have deeper relationships you do with men. That is the truth. Can you explain how you develop these opposing mindsets? I feel like bitch is just a word. It's like nigga when you're referring to a black person. Nigga bitch. I could say female, woman, girl. I could use other words, but I decided to say bitch. And I do that knowing that some people may feel a particular way about it. Not because I'm trying to make people feel a way about my use of the word bitch, but at the same time, that's not going to stop me from doing it because I know I'm not doing it with malicious intent. I'm just using a word. But I understand if other people feel that way. You still keep up with Shadow Rage? I haven't heard from that nigga in it's been a few months, but we haven't actually been around each other in years. Partly because I no longer live in Maryland, so. Okay, let me clarify my last question. Guilty pleasures, as in archetypes that are universally considered bad, but you, me, don't give a fuck whether they are or not. You, me, like them for whatever reason. Okay. Now that you clarify, appreciate you for that. There is a list. Ancient Warriors, Marincess, Mayakashi, Melodious, Constellar, Nephthys, Dark Lord, Dream Mirror, Dual Avatar, Element Saber, Fortune Lady, Gimmick Puppet. That's not all of them, but that's all I'm giving you. Hashtag what's the question? Appreciate y'all.
A lot.